Would you believe that Singapore, which is among the top leaders worldwide for rain, is actually in the 14th position? Every year, they get around 95 inches, or 2,400 millimeters, of rain on average. You'd think Singapore has loads and loads of water, but it's not quite that simple. Even though it is one of the wettest places in the world, Singapore often has to deal with the problem of not having enough water. So, you might be wondering, how in the world does Singapore run low on water with all that rain? And what does the city plan to do about this? Even though Singapore is one of the rainiest places, it also has a lot of people living close together. Imagine about 5.5 million people sharing a space that is just over 270 square miles, or 700 square kilometers. There's just not enough room to collect and keep all the fresh rainwater. It's almost impossible to think of having a huge water tank right in the middle of the city. Singapore has 17 places to catch and store rainwater, but, as you might guess, most of these places are quite small. They can't provide all the water that the people living in the city need. That's why managing water very carefully is really important in Singapore and is a big concern for the country. In fact, by the year 2040, Singapore is expected to be at the top of the list of 33 countries that might have a serious risk of running out of water. Obviously, the population isn't the whole story. Even though most people live in cities, it's the activities that make money, like businesses and industries, that use over half, or 55%, of all the water. This is predicted to go up to 70% by the time we get to the year 2060. Singapore is always getting bigger and bigger. It has industries, tourists, and even farms to test new ways to grow food. But there's only so much room to build things. You can't make the country any bigger than it already is. That's why they get about half of their water from their neighboring country, Malaysia. Now, here's where it gets a bit tricky. This is where all the disagreements and politics come into play. Malaysia has, in the past, threatened to stop providing water to Singapore. This could potentially cause a huge crisis for the country. But Singapore hasn't given up on finding solutions to this looming water issue. They have invested heavily in technology and innovation to increase their water supply. In past years, Singapore has been leading the way and showing the world how to manage water really well. A water expert named Peter Gleick, who started an organization in the United States that focuses on water, says that there's no secret or wizardry to what they've done. Instead of building big structures to take more and more water from nature, Mr. Gleick thinks that Singapore's win lies in what he calls the soft path plan. This soft path idea is about using water smartly and with care. It's about not wasting water and exploring new ways to get water. The water scarcity issue started a long time ago when Singapore was under British control, then during the Second World War when the Allies were fighting against Japan, and continued even after the war ended. During all these times, Singapore had to deal with lots of floods and dirty living conditions, and had to be careful with the amount of water they used. But something amazing happened in the year 1965. That's when Singapore became its own country and decided it wanted to solve its water problem themselves. The leaders of Singapore made a special plan. Over the years, they've adjusted this plan, and now they have 4 main ways to make sure they always have enough water. They call these the national taps. They get their water from other countries, clean up seawater so they can drink it, collect rainwater, and use a special kind of water they call NEWater. The NEWater production process works in 3 main steps. Stage 1, microfiltration, ultrafiltration. Usually the very beginning of making any water is a step we call microfiltration, MF, or ultrafiltration, UF. Imagine it as sieving your used water through a very, very tiny net. This net catches and filters out teeny tiny particles and germs that we can't see with our naked eyes. The people who help us recycle our water, use a nifty tool called the membrane bioreactor, MEMBR. Think of MEMBR as a super helper who does 3 jobs at once. It's like a bioreactor, a sedimentation tank, and an FUF machine all rolled into one. That means we can sometimes skip the MEF-UF step totally and just use MEMBR to clean up our water. Stage 2, reverse osmosis. The second part is reverse osmosis, but you can simply call it RO. Imagine RO as a little door that only lets water molecules go through. This door is so tiny that all the bad stuff like germs, metals, and other harmful particles can't go through. So, The water that comes out on the other side is clean and safe because all the harmful stuff is left behind. Stage 3. Ultraviolet UV disinfection. Lastly, the water goes through UV disinfection. This is when we use ultraviolet light to kill off any remaining bacteria or viruses that might have slipped past the RO stage. The result is clean, safe, and high-quality drinking water. All these advanced technologies and innovative ways of managing water have helped Singapore become self-sufficient in its water supply. However, they continue to invest in research and development to ensure a sustainable future for their country. Singapore's journey towards water sustainability serves as an inspiration for other countries facing similar challenges. It shows that with determination, innovation, and careful planning, even seemingly impossible problems can be solved. And it reminds us of the importance of taking care of our precious resources, such as water, for future generations. In addition to taking steps to improve infrastructure, officials have acknowledged and successfully communicated the importance of water conservation. The community has been well informed about their water conditions, the difficulties they are facing, and the solutions they've decided to adopt. Devices that help conserve water are financially supported, and those who install them get price reductions on other eco-friendly items. Hence, it's advantageous to save water. Electronic water meters present in private households also aid in rapidly pointing out leaks, positioning Singapore at the forefront in reducing water wastage due to faulty pipes. Singapore is not just about being renowned as a champion of collecting rainwater. The island nation also excels in the purification of water. They gather all the wastewater, thoroughly clean it, and strive to recycle it to the maximum extent. At the huge price tag of $10 billion, Singapore has constructed an impressive 206-kilometer underground highway to transport wastewater to modern, high-tech cleaning facilities. The amount of investment Singapore commits to this is unparalleled, with many countries not even dedicating a small portion of what Singapore does. The ability to carry out massive investments is somewhat influenced by Singapore's affluence and by a political structure that encourages the execution of such grand schemes. Unlike other countries, Singapore holds an exclusive benefit in that its almost non-existent agricultural sector doesn't consume or contaminate water. The crown jewel of Singapore's futuristic approach, though, is its innovative water treatment system, lovingly referred to as NEWater. This unique system stands as a testament to the nation's progressive perspective towards sustainability. It is a symbol of the country's capability to overcome challenges and find innovative solutions through technology and research. So, while Singapore may have faced water scarcity issues in the past, it has emerged as a global leader in water management today. Its story serves as an inspiration for other countries to take proactive measures towards securing their water supply and ensuring a sustainable future for all. So, what's your take on it, guys? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.